Hey everyone, Mr. Jesse here. We're going to do some music class about something a little different today. You might not think of this as being something important, but we are going to talk about light. Light! Can you believe that? We're going to have music class about light. Now let's think about some different kinds of light. There's the kind of light you turn on and off on the wall. There's the kind of light you might get from a candle. There's the kind of light you might get from a campfire. There's the kind of light that you might turn on and put on your Christmas tree, or maybe light in your Hanukkah menorah, or that you might string up and have a party to for Diwali. There are lots of holidays that use light. And there's also lots of songs that use light. And we're going to start with a song today called This Little Light of Mine. Where did this come from? Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? Since I have this in my hands, maybe first I could teach you the words to This Little Light of Mine. Okay? So this is how it goes. This little light of mine. You could hold up a little light if you want to. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, I said this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Now there are a couple of other verses, so you can say, I'm gonna take my light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna take my light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna take my light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. And there's another verse that I like a lot, and this one says, I won't let anyone it out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let anyone it out. I'm gonna let it shine. I said I won't let anyone it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. So those are the words that I like to sing when I'm singing about this little light of mine. Let it shine. And if you think about it, your light that you let shine could mean your personality, so what kind of fun, wacky person you are, or what kind of shy but thinking person you are. Your light could be all the love that you want to give. Your light could be your special talent, like maybe you're really good at art, or really good at sports, or really good at music. You're all really good at music. Or your light could just be your ideas, the things that you think about and that you want to share with everyone around you. So when you let your light shine, it means you let your personality out, you let your talents show, you let your love out, and you won't let anyone blow that out. You won't let anyone get rid of your light, because you are special, and that's what that light is for. So now I'm going to share with you a video of a concert that I made with my friend Tom. He plays the saxophone, and I am playing an instrument called a baritone. It looks kind of like a tiny tuba. It's got a big bell, and I hold it like this. And we got together in the sunlight outside and made our version of This Little Light of Mine. So take a listen, put your listening ears on, take a listen, and tell me what you think. And if you can remember the words, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, or I'm going to take my light around the world, or I won't let anyone it out, because you're going to let it shine. You can even sing along too. You might hear that melody. Okay, so here is Mr. Jesse and my friend Mr. Tom playing the saxophone, playing This Little Light of Mine. Hey, good listening. Were you able to hear the melody? This little light of mine? Good job. I have one more thing I want to share with you today, and this is actually a story. This is a story by Leo Leone called Frederick. It's about a little mouse who lives with his mouse family, and I made some music to go along with the story. So while you're watching the pictures and listening to the words, also listen to the music that's going on. Now, this story I picked today because it's about a mouse who is collecting things. Maybe you noticed that our days have been starting out a little darker and ending a little darker. We still have wake up time, breakfast time, lunchtime, playtime, bath time, brush your teeth time, story time, bedtime. We still have all those times in the day, but the daylight, the sun in our day has been a little less and a little less, and that's because we're going into our winter season and the days have less sunlight. that can be a little sad. We miss the sunlight. I like playing outside in the sunlight. I bet you do too. Well, soon, when we get to the winter, our days will be cold and we'll spend a lot of time indoors kind of warming up, putting on our sweaters and our sweatshirts. I got my new sweatshirt here today. And we might miss some of that sunlight. And in this story, Frederick the mouse does something very interesting. His family is all collecting food and things to eat for the winter and things to keep them warm, but he is collecting something in his imagination that's going to help his family stay happy during this long winter where it gets kind of dark. So pay very close attention to what Frederick is collecting in this story and enjoy the music too.
Frederick by Leo Leone. All along the meadow where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away, the barn abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They worked all day and night, all except Frederick. "Frederick, why don't you work?" they asked. "I do work," said Frederick. "I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days." And when they saw Frederick sitting there, staring at the meadow, they said, "And now, Frederick?" "I gather colors," answered Frederick simply, "for the winter is gray." And once Frederick seemed half asleep. "Are you dreaming, Frederick?" they asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, "Oh no, I am gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say." The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries, and the straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about sun rays and colors and words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick, as he climbed on the big stone. "Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow?" And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? "And how about all the colors, Frederick?" they asked anxiously. "Close your eyes again," Frederick said, and when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies in the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. "And the words, Frederick." Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, "Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon?" 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers, and then comes the summer who paints the flowers. The fall mouse is next with warm and sweet, and winter is last with cold little feet. Aren't we lucky for seasons of 4? Think of a year with one less or one more. When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. But Frederick, they said, you are a poet. Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, I know it.
Isn't that a great story? You know, at first, people thought Frederick was just being lazy, kind of sitting around, not doing much, but he was really concentrating and working hard and using his imagination to collect all of those songs and words and feelings of warmth and light and colors, and that really helped his family. And you can do that too. You can remember songs. You could even remember this little light of mine, the one we did today. And you can collect your favorite stories, and you can collect your favorite colors and make lots of drawings. And then you can keep them in a special place. And when the days get cold and it gets dark early, you will be able to help out your family stay warm and happy and safe. All right, I'm going to say goodbye for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to do some singing and listening to music, and I will see you soon next time. Bye, everybody.